they're one of the most secretive organisations in the world.
There are certain secrets that you have to earn.
Famous for unexplained rituals.
Where were you first prepared to be a Freemason? In my heart. Describe the mode of your preparation. My right arms, left the breast, and knee made bare. There has been this notion that we somehow use goats in our rituals because we're somehow satanic.
And they face regular accusations of corruption.
There are people who are genuinely afraid to declare that they are Freemasons.
They're no more corrupt than anybody else.
Whenever anything bad happens, there are a whole horde of people who are digging to see whether Freemasonry was involved.
All the men in my family are Freemasons. I'm the only girl to go into Masonry. If a man can do it, so can I.
For the first time, we've been given access inside this highly secretive society to find out the truth behind the intrigue.
We have nothing to hide that's sinister. We're not trying to take over the world, despite all these conspiracy theories.
The Freemasons are a secretive society that practice rituals in a temple and promote brotherly love. Although they have always been associated with men, we've gained access to the two female Freemason groups in the UK, the Order of Women Freemasons and the Honourable Fraternity of Ancient Freemasons. This looks like any other leafy street in central London, but this is the international headquarters of one of the most secretive and mysterious organisations in the world, and for the first time, they're exclusively opening the doors to us. This is the Order of Women Freemasons. There's a meeting today for the quarterly communication of Grand Lodge, where only members of a certain rank can attend.
The most worshipful the Grand Master, Christine Chapman.
And this is the second group we've been given access to, the Honourable Fraternity of Ancient Freemasons.
Right Worshipful Assistant Grand Master, whom do you represent? Hiram, Prince of Architects, Most Worshipful the Grand Master. And your duty? To lay plans, draw designs, and assist the Most Worshipful the Grand Master in the execution of her work.
Christine Chapman, a former bookkeeper, is hoping to be re-elected for the top job of Grand Master for another 4 years.
The Grand Master has to lead and guide the fraternity, and she has to provide direction. She's the person with whom the buck stops. If there's any problems, she takes ultimate responsibility for everything. And she is the head of the fraternity.
The female Freemasons were formed in 1908. Their male counterparts have been meeting for at least 300 years. Their practices involve secret handshakes, rolling up their trouser legs, wearing blindfolds, and even nooses around their necks. They are currently headed up by the Queen's cousin, the Duke of Kent. But Freemasons have been accused of favouritism, helping each other rise up the career ladder and covering up each other's mistakes.
The Home Affairs Committee have already called for greater openness.
In 1997, there were calls from former Home Secretary Jack Straw for officers and judges to make voluntary disclosures about their membership. By 2009, he scrapped the rule after the Masons threatened to take the government to court.
There are people who are genuinely afraid to declare that they are Freemasons because of the public perception that somehow means that they're a corrupt individual or that they're somebody who is a little bit dodgy. And that's categorically not the case. I would say quite the opposite is true.
Over the years, there's been a negative reputation that's been around Freemasonry, specifically male Freemasons, about corruption and maybe favours going on. You scratch my back, I scratch yours. What would you say to that? Does that still happen?
I would say that you are categorically not allowed to use your membership of Freemasonry for either financial advantage or personal advantage in that way. It's very much frowned upon by us. It's something which we do not tolerate at all within our organisation.
I've been a Freemason for over 40 years and nobody's ever offered me a favour, and I've never offered anybody else a favour. You hear the story, certainly. I've not come across it in Freemasonry at all. We've had the odd person that we've had to ask to leave us. Since I've been Grand Master, only one person, where their behaviour was not suitable for a Freemason.
So what did they do for their behaviour not to be?
They were convicted in court of a criminal act.
Many people associate Freemasonry with secrecy and mystery. Why do you think that is?
If it was all written out and publicised for everybody to read, there would be no point in anybody joining it, because there'd be nothing special left for them to discover.
You say it's to ensure that it feels special.
Yes.
But people could view that as there being something to hide.
Yeah, this is the problem. But we have nothing to hide that's sinister. We're not trying to take over the world, despite all these conspiracy theories on the internet. And we're not trying to overthrow the government or anything like that.
Do you think, if it comes down to it, that it might be better to remove that element of surprise?
No, I don't think so.
But even if it might mean a bad reputation for Freemasonry?
We need to preserve an element of secrecy for that reason only, because that's what makes it special.
Has Freemasonry helped your career?
No. I worked in accounts departments, as bookkeepers and so on, a bookkeeper. So no chance.
The police in particular have been heavily linked with Freemasonry. Is there any truth in police officers who are Freemasons helping people get away with crimes?
Not that I've ever seen. We don't have many police officers in the Order of Women Freemasons. We do have some, I know, but I've not seen anybody being helped in that way, so I can only speak from my own experience.
Have you heard of Freemasons doing favours for each other?
Yes, I have in the old days, many years ago. But that was mainly in the men, and they were rooted out as corrupt.
What sort of favours would they be?
And we would get policemen and who were Freemasons doing favours for other members.
Because there's obviously this view that sort of, you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours.
It's not allowed. It really isn't. It's really forbidden in our rituals not to do it. You mustn't do that.
And have you ever heard about that ever happening here?
Not in women's Freemasonry, no.
Alright, Shalom. First, like start by saying all praise to Yahweh, by Shema Shai, by Shema Kakadash, double honors to the elders and apostles that rule well, and salutations to the brothers that's doing the truth and sincerity. Now, this is just a little bit of information on the women's female or the female Masons organizations. They only give you a little bit of insight, which being a Mason is totally against the scriptures. Esau got it to where, you got men Masons or Freemasons and women Freemasons, in which they do worship Satan. They do deal in witchcraft. It's still levels to this stuff, even within their orders. But ultimately, it is the worship of Satan, and they try to equate that with being, being a Mason with being righteous, and it's in the scriptures and all that extra stuff, so they can tie themselves into the Bible. But the Bible condemns Freemasonry, whether men or women. So I'm gonna start with this Wikipedia document. Because usually the Eastern Stars are the women Masons, but I was reading Wikipedia today, and they said that I guess men can fall up under the category too, but it says the Order of the Eastern Star is a Masonic appendant body open to both men and women. It was established in 1850 by lawyer and educator Rob Morris, a noted Freemason, but was only adopted and approved as an appendant body of the Masonic fraternity in 1873. It says the order is based on teachings from the Bible, which is a lie. Because look at the star. Yeah, the Baphomet. And let's just say they did get some stuff from the scriptures. Everything that they're doing is witchcraft. As a matter of fact, it was they did have a couple different philosophies that they used to equate them with the Bible, but I kind of can't think of them right now. But it says the order is based on teachings from the Bible. I think Hiram and King Solomon. It's coming back slowly, but it says, but it's open to people of all religious beliefs. It has approximately 10,000 chapters in 20 countries and approximately 500,000 members under its general grand chapter, right? So when you're dealing with the scriptures, you're only supposed to be dealing in the scriptures, even though they showing Edomites more so than that one lonely black woman, our people are not supposed to be dealing in this, and our people are heavily into these satanic orders. It says, member of the Order of the Eastern Star are age 18 and older. Men must be master masons and women must have specific relationships with masons. Originally, a woman would have to be the daughter, widow, wife, sister, or mother of a master mason, but the order now allows other relatives as well as allowing Job's daughters, Rainbow Girls, Rainbow Coalition, Job's daughters. All this is mockery and meant to pose as righteous because of the name, but it's not righteous. Members of the organization of Triangles, New York only, and members of the constellation of Junior Stars, New York only, to become members when of age. And a lot of Jakes them get adopted into Masonry when they go to college through fraternities. But you do have Masons that just come to regular people on the street whom they know to have some type of reputation or, some type of reputation, and then they ask them to be Masons. Because before I came into truth, I was asked to be a Mason also. But I'm looking to these two names, Job's Daughters. Job's Daughters International is a Masonic affiliated youth organization for girls and young women aged 10 to 20. That's how young they started. And they keep it in the family, and they keep that. See, that's how a lot of these social classes are started too. These Masons do help each other get jobs. They do cover up each other's BS. Esau is a damn liar, man. These fucking devils. Can't wait to put them in slavery. But it says the organization is commonly referred to as simply Job's Daughters and sometimes abbreviated as JDI or IOJD, referring to its long-time former name, International Order of Job's Daughters. Job's Daughters welcomes many religions and cultures. The only religious standard is a belief in a supreme being, right? So no matter what gods you believe in, you can believe in Satan, you can be down. They are praised for their memory work and delivery. They are not a secret society, as stereotyped by their relationship to Freemasonry. Family relationship to a free and accepted Mason is no longer a prerequisite for membership. JDI promotes itself as a sorority where girls rule. However, there is a large and multi-layered assortment of adult guidance and interaction. All right. Right, so even within their little thing is levels. Slack it. It says International Order of the Rainbow for Girls. The International Order of the Rainbow for Girls is a Masonic youth service organization which teaches leadership training through community service. Right, so they that's how they get the little offices, preparing for little offices, leadership offices in this society. Like one of them girls can be trained to be a mayor, senator, something to that caliber. If not just a little lower, but still of a leadership position. It says young women ages 10, 11, 20 to 21 learn about the value of charity and service through their work and involvement with their annual local and grand state or country service projects. So, yeah, they can even become what do you call it? Deal with charity events and stuff. A lot of these people in these jobs, these teachers and stuff, are Masons, and the secrets that they be having be mainly the stuff that's going on within the state or around that other normal people can't have. But I'm gonna go ahead and start bringing out these scriptures. This is Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 15. It says, woe unto him that giveth his neighbor drink, that puttest thy bottle to him and makest him drunken also, that thou mayest look on their nakedness. And it's just dealing with the Israelites, the blacks, Latins, Native Americans. Destruction unto y'all who passes down to your kids or your relatives, because all it is the worship of Satan. Notice that the lady said that she was a bookkeeper. A lot of witches are bookkeepers and warlocks because they deal with the knowledge. They more so dibble and dabble in the knowledge on the left side, and they report people who wake up to the knowledge of truth or even of the left side. And then that's when the Lord either starts to deal with them people or he drops them off on certain levels or have them bug out behind the information that they have picked up on, because that's how they keep a lot of control. A lot of these Masons who are witches do a lot of the chants that get people killed, get people put on drugs and stuff of that nature. They do sacrifices and all of that. This is Colossians chapter 2, verse 8. Beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy. Right, and that's the philosophy. And vain deceit, after the tradition of men, after the rudiments of the world, and not after Yahushua. Right, so you got to beware of stuff like this. When they come to you and ask you, just for brothers to know. Because a lot of people that we run into, we on the highways and byways, are Masons. Some of them might be witches. You got low-level Masons that who want to make it up to that level, but they who eventually deal in homosexuality to try to make it up that level, but they don't get far or nothing because they lie to each other It's like a circle within a circle. You know, they don't. They help each other in a sense, but then they also lie to each other. It's all about the spirit that they have, because it's a spirit that governs them also, which ultimately is the Lord. But he uses Satan and the demons on the left hand side to do it. The Lord set good against evil, so it ain't out of the norm for you to run into these people or run into these witches, you know. This is Proverbs chapter 25, verse 9. See, they saying they draw from the Bible and the scriptures and whatnot, but they really are Satan. Because, you know, they be, if they really was of the scriptures, they would be aware of these scriptures that I'm bringing out and wouldn't Jake wouldn't participate in this. But this is Proverbs chapter 25, verse 9. Debate thy cause with thy neighbor himself or herself, because the scriptures talk about brotherly and sisterly love. They weren't built off no brotherly and sisterly love because they wouldn't be holding secrets. And that's the reason why I'm bringing out the scripture. This is Proverbs chapter 25, verse 9. Debate thy cause with thy neighbor himself and discover not a secret to another, right? And they are known for holding secrets. That's how they get their power. That's how the elites was able to keep control of the world, because everything was secret. But the Lord got the truth springing up, got everybody waking up, which is taking power from them, you know, these elites and whatnot. And they also cutting up their witchcraft. That's what actually kept everybody blinded, the witchcraft part of it. Jake gonna be having girlfriends and stuff, or dealing with women that be in these sororities who be fucking witches and wicked as hell, man. Hoes and sluts, and been through all types of orgies and did sexual magic and whatnot, and they don't even be knowing. This is Nahum chapter 3, verse 4. It says, because of the multitude of the whoredoms of the well-favored harlot, talking about America, the mistress of witchcrafts, the philosophies of America. You know, from we're actually dealing with witchcraft on the left-hand side, or just the philosophies of homosexuality, lesbianism, keeping secrets, because a lot of these orders sacrifice people, sacrifice animals, you know, so on and so forth. The mistress of witchcrafts, this is America, the mistress of witchcrafts, that selleth nations through her whoredoms, and America got all the nations participating in this wickedness. You know, see, this was over in France, you know, and families through her witchcrafts. Behold, I am against thee, saith the Lord Yahweh, host of hosts, and I will discover thy skirts upon thy face, because at one point in time, all this information wasn't out there free to the public, free to watch the rituals of Masons and ceremonies, all that. I mean, same thing. All that that wasn't out there. I remember when the Lord first woke me up to the truth. The previous elder of this camp gave me a book called it was on the Illuminati. And as I was waking up, I was snapping on people. I was changing my act, changing my ways, becoming a new creature. I wasn't playing no games. I want all that laughing, joking, let women rule over me and talk to me how they want to talk to me. Even men, I wasn't dealing with none of that. You know, all that stuff was cut off, or I was gonna be snapping tight. You know, even to the point, you know, where I wanted to fight, but you know, never got into any fights for real. You know, but like twice. But it was us on the highways and byways. But as far as what I was dealing on a daily basis by myself and stuff in these environments, you know, I wasn't, you know, getting into too much and nothing, just cursing people out about the word. And I had the book, The Illuminati, and I think he synced it, or eventually something happened to where I ended up showing it to him, and he was looking through it, and he was shocked. And he was a Mason. The dude was a Mason. He was a Mason. Everybody in the organization was a Mason. Except one person, just one female, and they didn't like her. They eventually casted her out. You know, it's a lot to that story that I don't remember, but he seen the book and he was shocked, you know, and I think he folded his legs. He was reading it. Like, how does he know this? Where did he get this book? You know, just all amazed and everything. But he was a Mason and it was exposing stuff that he didn't even know, you know. So, but, yeah, I forgot what was leading up to this. But, back to the scriptures, it says, oh yeah, it says, verse 5, behold, I am against thee, saith the Lord Yahweh of hosts, and I will discover thy skirts upon thy face, and I will shew the nations thy nakedness, and the kingdoms thy shame. Right, so all the nations woke up to America's bullshit and how they actually deal with this witchcraft, and this witchcraft has been keeping people asleep. You know, all other nations woke up to this, you know. And I will cast abominable filth upon thee, and make thee vile, and will set thee as a gaze in stock. And America is a gaze in stock right now. And it shall come to pass that all they that look upon thee shall flee from thee, right? The nations separating from America, and say Nineveh, which is America, is laid waste, because ultimately America is going to be destroyed behind this witchcraft and this wickedness. Who will bemoan her? Whence shall I seek comforters for thee? So yeah, that's the point. America going to be destroyed behind all this witchcraft that it is doing, that has kept the nation asleep, and ultimately starting with Israel, because we the apple of the Lord's eye, you know. Give me one second. This is Micah chapter 5. Yeah, Micah chapter 5, verse 12. And I will cut off witchcrafts out of thy hand, and thou shalt have no more soothsayers, right? Thy graven images also will I cut off, thy standing images out of the midst of thee, and thou shalt no more worship the work of thine hands, which ultimately deals with the idols and stuff that they worship. Esau passed laws and legislation that they can erect Baphomet idols, and you know they be in the park worshiping and whatnot, and those be specific covens. You know, they do a lot of that in Kenosha, Wisconsin. You can actually walk downtown along the lakefront, and you'll run into dozens of houses with candles in every window. They deal heavy with witchcraft in Kenosha, Wisconsin. They even worship in the park. I seen once, if I'm not mistaken, if it wasn't on TV, it was in actuality. More than likely, it was in real life. I seen, I think I was with one of the brothers too. You know, if not the previous elder, they were in a circle, holding hands, worshiping. You know, so this place has to go, man, because they the ones who pushing out this wicked ass vibration and shit. You know, and the Lord got them under that, got them where He want them. You know, you would think people would be like more so afraid of the Lord and not worship Satan, but the Lord got good versus evil. Everybody got a lot. But it says, verse 13, thy graven images also will I cut off, and thy standing images out of the midst of thee, and thou shalt no more worship the work of thine hands, right? Because those idols push out vibrations. And I will pluck up thy groves out of the midst of thee, so will I destroy thy cities, and I will execute vengeance and anger and fury upon the heathen, such as they have not heard. Right? America gonna be hit by thermonuclear missiles, man, for this wickedness, this witchcraft. They try to lead people to believe that, just like they didn't say it about. I'm just exaggerating. 100 times in this one clip that it isn't bad. Conspiracy theorists and all this extra shit to justify them doing all that wickedness, man. When it's ultimately against the Bible, and it is wicked. It is bad, you know. But earlier I was trying to state that they got all this on the TVs. It wasn't there before. They got it on Netflix. They got the man's version on Netflix. I think they got a couple seasons of that one. I started to watch it, but I haven't finished it yet. So like this fall, I already went through the settings and changed it to stand on in 10 minutes. Satan still try to find his way in. But that's the fight we're in. Job chapter 13, verse 4. It says, but ye are forgers of lies, you are physicians of no value. Right, so Esau is the damn devil, the damn liar that the Bible talks about, that speaks on. You know, he'll trick you to believing that, you know, he ain't lying to you about this witchcraft and these Masons and these fraternities. And it's all good. You can be a Christian and come in. And, you know, it's as a matter of fact, we draw from the Bible and then they come up with whatever lie or philosophy that, since, you know, you ain't read the Bible, you ain't read nothing, that equates the Bible and Masonry all good and all this extra stuff. I guess, I think it was because of Haran building the temple for King Solomon, or Haram, I think his name was. And they try to equate it like that. That ain't got, man, you can't equate no Freemasonry and all this witchcraft, this demonic Eastern Star, these covens and this witchcraft to the scriptures, man. The Lord said, I suffer not of which to live, and they deal heavily with witchcraft. So you can't make nothing with this book too. They got, you know how they get their own little books and shit. But I think I got like 2 more scriptures. Let me see which one I'm gonna read first. Let me get this Leviticus chapter 18, verse 21. Oh, okay. This is Leviticus chapter 18, verse 21. It says, and thou shalt not let any of thy seed pass through the fire to Molech, neither shalt thou profane the name of thy power. I am the Lord. Right, so when you a Mason and you on them levels like Jay-Z, Kanye West and them, they be sacrificing their kids to these idols. And they Israelites. They not supposed to do that. The other nations, the white Esau, the heathens, Ishmael, which is Arabs, the Chinese, with their fraternities, they can do that. The Lord said that we were supposed to be an example. The nation's supposed to look at us as us having wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. We're not supposed to get involved with any of the stuff that they do. You know, that's why the Lord had us kill them off when he brought us into the land of Israel and various other places. Because they worship witchcraft. And they have our sons, and we can't, man, we're not supposed to be sparing them. This is Deuteronomy chapter 18, verse 10. There shall not be found among you anyone that maketh his son or his daughter to pass through the fire, or that uses divination, or any observer of times, or an enchanter, or a witch, or a charmer, or a consulter with familiar spirits, or a wizard, or a necromancer. For all that do these things are an abomination unto the Lord Yahweh. And because of these abominations, the Lord Yahweh thy power doth drive them out from before thee. See, there you go. Because they do that nonsense. And Israel took on it. And, the Lord just gave you a law. on not to do it. So it says, verse 13, thou shalt be perfect with the Lord Yahweh thy power. So we supposed to be perfect, keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, being the examples of the world, because the nations worship idols who cannot move and any of that type of stuff, man. You know, they deal with the left hand demons, which Yahweh is in control of all of that. Yahweh Shai, you know. See if I can grab one more scripture. This is the last scripture. This is Exodus chapter 22, verse 18. Thou shalt not suffer a witch to live. Right, so witches are supposed to be put to death. That's all it means. That's all it's talking about. And these Masons, they worship witchcraft. They deal in that. So they're supposed to be put to death. That's why it's so secret. So, but with that being said, all praise to Yahweh Bashim Shai, Bashim Kakadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles that we will, and salutations to the brothers that's doing the truth and sincerity. Shalom.